Good morning, everyone. I'm very glad to be here. My topic is if China is a kind of civil society, and it's a topic discussed in Chinese academia for some years. Some, even many people, even scholars, don't like don't like us to use the civil society to define or describe Chinese, the current situation of Chinese society. But I think we should keep using the concept. I think it's necessary to keep on civil society in China and the discourses about China. As you know, we have some kind of words for modernization as our imagination about Chinese modernity. But I think only in the last, I think maybe 15 years, we had a mainstream imagination about Chinese modernity as market economy, democratic politics, and civil society. And it's a kind of common phenomena in the developed countries. And Chinese people did not to take market economy and also at least in intellectuals, democratic politics is what we want. But it's not so, it's not the consensus about society. We should have what kind of society. But I think now we can think it's the mainstream, but not all the people think it's right or it's needed. In the spring, there was a conference in Zhongshan University. In the beginning, they wanted to use the word civil society as the key word, but later they changed it as social construction, replace of the civil society. But here, so you also use NGO, governance and management, and not civil society. And yesterday, when we chatted, I had a message from Jennifer and maybe Xuanxie, and now they are not so popular to use civil society in the Western academia. But in China, I think we should use this word. And I think it's very important for us to think about the society as a whole and think about its positive elements as a whole. For, I think, more 7 years, in the 和谐社会, the harmonious society has been much popular than civil society, especially in the, in the public sphere, especially in the political discourse. But I think harmonious society is invented and used as a kind of propaganda and not an honest aim. So we can't have any kind of harmonious society. Maybe it happened in ancient time, so maybe only in Chinese classical thinkers, but not reality. And I think maybe the communist society in the faraway future can be a kind of harmonious society. But in China, I think this kind of ideal has been given up. So I think, but the word is, the concept is useful, but it's not the real imagination about our future. And I prepared some phenomena to if you want to chase in the harmonious society, we should do many things. Waving is one of these things. And for the stability keeping, the central government and even the local governments invested a lot of money. And it's so big. How big, nobody knows. And even in the, the police and some kind of police systems, we can say the armed police, the normal police, and all kinds of civil guards. Even for our university, I was told we have 500 保安. Security guards. And I think the society can't support so many people in police service. And there's another word, 和谐. 和谐 means a verb, not a noun, and it means if something, some voice is not acceptable, and it will be deleted from the website or somewhere. They use the word 和谐调. 和谐调. It's like, it's very, ironical, or anyway, it's not possible for us to chase harmonious society. And also in the last, 6 or 8 years, there are two opinions on Chinese society. One is society is growing, society is decaying. And so we are here to discuss how the society is growing, right? But there are some scholars criticize Chinese society is decayed. And I think when we get away from the totalitarianism, so the people got some kind of liberated, and so you can say the change is decayed, right? So you can also say the people have a new opportunity to do what they can or they want to do. My perspective can be described in two aspects. One is looking for horizontal social links. And as I want to mention Jessica's paper about the consultative authoritarianism. And so I think she put two kinds of linkages together. The consultative means some kind of equal horizontal links, and authoritarianism means some kind of vertical linkages. And so I agree in this way. The Chinese society, in a situation, you can say in two angles. One is horizontal, another one is vertical. Either of these two angles, right? Angles, and you can find so many social phenomena, and it's a kind of crossroads, or it's different things exist together, and but I prefer to look at the situation from the horizontal social links. And the second one is I will take on Durkheim's standpoint. For Durkheim, society can form its own new order and organic solidarity during suffering social changes. And it's my reading. And so I'm a kind of Durkheimian and optimistic about the development of Chinese civil society. I will give a very short presentation of the objective changes of Chinese society. One is the civility of the society. I think in Chinese mainstream newspaper or website, I mean the public sphere, and the civility about non-violence and charity, I mean, and respect to each other, or like this, have been there and for some years, and I think it's new after. I mean, it's new for a socialist country, and the main change between the socialism and post-socialism is the identity. I mean, the I and you is comrade and enemy, or citizen to citizen. This is the main part. And the second objective change is the associations, MPO or NGOs, and the numbers. And from the beginnings, 4,100 times now. I mean, it's the registered organizations. And for unregistered organizations, we should add 10 times, right? So anyway, it's a huge number. And in this way, we made a conclusion in 2008. There is a civil society in China, and but here I try to say more to answer how can we describe Chinese civil society as an independent subject? And I use the three-sector theory. The non-profit sector means it can be independent from economy and politics. And then I will answer who are in the Chinese civil society. For this topic, I think we should put in more organizations, and especially for the organizations in the countryside organized by peasants. And I also want to put in other organizations supported by the government or come from the government. And I think it's a society. So you can't just say only that kind of organization you like it can be inside. So if the organizations are already there, you should recognize. And even so, it doesn't matter who supports this kind of organization, and how they work as a subject. Cooperative and collective actions, so we can find is so often now in China. The third sector can be expressed and represented by its voices and representatives, more inclusive. I raised the example of the lineages, and I published a paper in our university magazine and just try to say why we should include lineage organizations in civil society. And I think it is organized by Chinese citizens, so it should be inside. As the cooperative and collective actions, we can raise many examples, and I just mentioned some of them. One is the United Office of May 12th earthquake relief in Sichuan, and many organizations worked in Sichuan after the earthquake. They can work together. The second is the China Foundation Center. This kind of program was launched by private foundation leaders, and now I think it runs very well. And you know the regulation about registration of association is to limit, even forbid the cooperations in different levels, in different areas, in different professions. So you can't unite with other organizations. So you can be yourself, but you can't unite other organizations. So it's the one basic design for the regulation of registration, but now it is another reality. The third is the new citizen project for the peasant workers in big cities. The children can go to the public school, and they can only go to the private schools. And some organizations help the students provide more activities and help for the children. And it's the money from the one private foundation, Narado Foundation. So my final example is the Antidam Action, and it's very famous in China, and Lujiang, and it's in the Lujiang case. And the last one is the society. Even the society can be represented, then it can be a kind of civil society. The organization's leaders, just like Xu Yongguang, and I think Xu Yongguang is the most valuable representative in Chinese civil society. So my conclusion, and I don't think I have time, so I should stop here. And if you have any questions, I can answer your question later. Okay.